On today's episode of the Untitled Movie Podcast, we continue Black History Month and we talk about Louis Gossett Jr. in Diggstown. It's the movie where Chappy Sinclair spanks Jesus. It's all you need to know, so stay tuned, folks.
Untitled Movie Podcast. Untitled Movie Podcast. Untitled Movie Podcast. Untitled Movie Podcast.
Welcome.
Hello.
We are back.
Hello. Welcome.
I said that. Yeah, we said that. We're back.
We're back.
They know.
We're back. It's Black History Month still.
Yes,
it is. I made a rhyme. And yeah, folks, welcome back to our February editions of the Untitled Movie Podcast with Ron.
And Greg.
And we're here talking today about some a little Louis Gossett Jr. action, a little LGJ, if you will.
Yeah.
A little Diggstown to complete Black History Month, because he's a fucking national treasure and he's wonderful in this movie. So yeah, Diggstown, talking James Woods, talking Heather, a litany of amazing character actors, a veritable a buffet of Richard Tysons.
Yes. Many to choose from, but only one will stand. Well, two will stand victorious.
The Tyslander. There can be only one.
There can be only one
Richard
Pamela Reed because there's only one female.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're kind of... I don't know. There was like ring card girls, and I think there was someone in the crowd yelling.
I mean, there were... All right, let's get this out of the way. So, the only three females in the movie are Heather Graham, Louis Gossett Jr.'s wife, who plays his wife.
Yes.
And a random girl who gives James Woods a blowjob while getting in her car.
Yes, but there's also that lady at the train station who goes, "Is that Wolf? What's wrong with him?" Yeah.
Could
folks,
that be
like
the same one from the car?
For all I know, I don't even know who the hell she was or what she was doing. She's there. I'm pretty sure James Woods, who's notoriously difficult, was like, "Hey, how about you get some girl to give me road blowies for the scene?" And the director was like, "What? No, you're just gonna road blowies." And then they let him have it because whatever, and that's why that's in the scene.
All right.
Like, there's no reason for that to be there, but it is. This movie's again, in case you didn't, what year did this come out? 92?
This came out in 1992. It's a very big year for sports movies back then.
A lot of sports movies, 92, like 10 of them or something, right?
Yeah, some crazy amount. I
Yeah,
think some of them were The Babe, White Man Can't Jump, League of Their Own, The Mighty Ducks, Mr. Baseball, and The Cutting Edge.
White Man Can't Jump, best of the lot. And this.
I don't know. League of Their Own is pretty good.
It's good, but it's not. It's no this. Yeah, this is one of those movies that I love unabashedly, but I can't watch without noticing a lot of glaring fucking weird issues with it.
There's a lot of weird things. A lot of weird things.
It looks like it was made for approximately $17 and whatever they paid Louis Gossett Jr. to show up.
It was actually made for $17 million.
I was close. And it made like nothing, right? It made $8-9 million.
4.8.
That's a effing shame.
It should have been a lot. It should have done a lot better than it did.
Yeah, and it should I feel like it should have a bigger cult following. This is one of those movies I feel like no one knows. I say Diggstown, people are like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Whereas you and I say it and you're like, "Oh yeah, Charles Make 'em Diggs, Louis Gossett Jr., Honey Roy Palmer." Like, right? It's I freaking love this movie. You know, so it is what it is. It's unfortunate. Hopefully, some people listen to it and go out and it'll create a Diggstown revival, if you will.
Well, it was also known as Midnight Sting.
Where, in like other countries?
I'm not sure. I'm looking at a movie poster. It says Midnight Sting right now.
That sounds like the name for a porno featuring the lead singer of The Police. Hey-o!
Which I don't think Midnight Sting is a very it gives you a false title. And having Heather Graham and the title, the movie poster I'm looking at has James Woods, Heather Graham, Louis Gossett Jr.
In that order?
Yeah. Heather Graham's not really in the movie.
It should just be Louis Gossett Jr.
Yes.
100%. And should I summarize this real quick for those who haven't seen it?
I think you should.
Okay, so and go. James Woods is in prison. He's a con man, right? But like a kind of a nice con man. So you don't really know why he's in prison, but people like him in prison. So he's got Wolf Forrester. He's helping people get out of prison. Wolf Forrester's played by Tex Cobb, who I love. Wolf Forrester gets beat up by a big Mexican dude for money. I think he throws the fight. The Mexican dude throws the fight. Someone throws the fight. Wolf Forrester loses. He's all fucked up, but he's James Woods' friend. They got a sting they're going to run when they get out of prison. James Woods gets out first, right? James Woods goes back to Wolf Forrester's hometown, but first he goes to Miami and talks to some dude with a ponytail and the guy from New York Undercover, but not Malik Yoba, the other guy, the Spanish dude. And that guy keeps making weird eyes at him like he wants to make love to him, but he's apparently doesn't like him. But either way, and the other guy's got a ponytail, like I said. So that guy's also got really white shoes. And he gets money from that guy or something, and then comes back up. They got this. They want to run a con in Wolf Forrester's hometown. So they get Oliver Platt, Jimmy the King, if you will. I will rule you. He goes into town first. He tricks a bunch of people into betting money on pool with him in one of my favorite scenes in any movie, actually, now that I've seen it again for the 4,000th time. We'll get to that later. They basically con the owner of the town, Robert Guillon. Robert Guillon. What's it? No, John Guillon. Robert Guillon's. Robert Guillon's Benson. So yeah, they trick not Benson into making this big ass bet with him because he's a piece of shit and he owns the whole town. Big ass bet on whether Honey Palmer, Louis Gossett Jr., James Woods' former best friend and an associate of all of them, can come in and beat 10 men in one night in 24 hours. Can he beat 10 men in 24 hours? He's the greatest boxer ever. That's big boxing town. We'll get to that again later. So yeah, so they got this bet going, but big shock. Louis Gossett Jr., Honey Palmer, not in on the con yet. What? They've had a falling out in the past because James Woods threw the towel in for him. He goes to get him. He doesn't want to do it. He's like, fuck you, bro. I'm not dealing with you. But then he changes his mind right away because he fucking secretly loves James Woods. They're best buddies. And he wants the money. He misses the sting. He misses the love of the fight. So he goes back in. Shaves his sideburns. Big change. Gets ready for the fight. Not sideburns, the hair ring. Horseshoe hair. Shaves the sides. Right? Gets ready. They train. He meets Charles Macomb Diggs, former boxing champion. They find out from somebody that Charles Macomb Diggs, the guy that Diggstown's named after, actually was trained by Guillon. And Guillon doped him up on amyl nitrate. But I'm not sure that's how amyl nitrate works, but I didn't really look it up yet. And he gets all fucked up and loses the fight and gets brain damage. That's from way back in the day. So now they're fighting for the town, Charles Macomb Diggs' honor, and all this fucking money. And James Woods' life because he owes all this money to Victor Corsini, the guy that he borrowed the money from in Miami. So they're all fucked and they're all going to get killed if they fuck this up. So they have a whole thing where they're throwing fights. Fights are getting thrown. Then fights don't get thrown. People get killed. People get hung, which is horrible. And then someone else gets punched. And then the Robbie, he goes, Daddy, I can fight him, Daddy. And so, but he doesn't let him fight. And then Jesus gets in there and drops an N-bomb on somebody. Jesus says the N-word. And Louis Gossett Jr. punches him in the stomach and spanks him. So it's insane. Chappy spanks Jesus. So then another guy was smoking cigars. Another guy's wearing jean shorts. Another guy has the shits. Another guy throws a fight. Another guy doesn't throw a fight. And then what happens? What happens when they think they're about to win? Hammerhead Hagen, the only guy that beat Louis Gossett Jr. when he was an actual professional boxer, shows up and freaking starts whooping his ass. Then Louis Gossett Jr. steps up his game, knocks him out anyway. Redemption. But before he knocks him out, he's about to get knocked out. And back in the day, what I left out was that James Woods one time threw a towel in Moline, Alabama. They were fighting, and Louis Gossett Jr. was losing, but James Woods lost faith in him, so he threw a towel in to save his life. Tries to throw the towel in again. Louis Gossett Jr. catches the towel. He says, no. He says, no. Nay. I will not be quitting. I will not let you throw the towel. And James Woods throws the towel back at him. That's not really how boxing's rules work, but whatever. Freaking knocks out Hammerhead Hagen. Now they're like, oh shit, I think we won. He beat 10 men in 24 hours, which is 24 hours in a day. The fights start 10 o'clock the night before and 10 o'clock the next night. Or midnight, right? Midnight? Whatever. Anyway.
Midnight to midnight.
Midnight. Yeah, midnight sting. While it's all going on, the bet keeps jumping up. So yeah, they're at the final fight. He thinks he's won. But what happened? Robbie Guillon, that's why I keep thinking of Robert Guillon. Robbie Guillon never stepped in the ring. So there's one more fight. Who is it? Manoso Torres, the Mexican dude that beat up Wolf Forrester, who also gets murdered at some point because he knows too much about Guillon. We left that out, but whatever. He shows up. He's gonna kill Louis Gossett Jr. How could he fought 9 men already? How could he ever beat Manoso Torres? Pain is like some sort of sadistic voodoo thing to him. But what? Wait for it. James Woods had the thing fixed all the time. Always knew he was there. Always knew he was going to do it. But puts his thumb down. Manoso Torres takes a dive. They win. Fight's over. They're champions. He owns the town. John Guillaume will pay for his crimes. Diggstown.
Thank you, Craig.
I left some stuff out.
That was pretty damn good. Not as good as The Last Dragon.
I've decided.
You're getting better.
I've decided that I will, from now on, give synopsis as fast as possible without thinking about them first.
Yes.
And with no regard for whether I leave information in or out.
And you just said the subtitle to our episode. During that, I'll let you figure out what it is.
I don't know. I don't know.
You said Chappy Spanks Jesus. That's the subtitle to our episodes, as you all know, because you downloaded it already.
Yes. So maybe we'll get our first letter finally. So yeah. The only thing I really left out, I think, was that Guillaume is like fixing fights in the town before this. That's how they meet. James Woods hustles him and like he's like, oh, I bet you this fights. He knows he's fixing fights. So like Guillaume does his thing with his tie. He like a really super obvious throw the fight signal, which I don't really understand why people are paying for the fights.
I mean, the tie is the least obvious thing. He yells out the fighter's name. The fight stops. They look at him fix his tie. Then he takes his thumb like a fucking Roman emperor.
Yes.
And it's up and he turns it down. And the guy takes a fall. I mean, that is the most obvious thing.
Yeah,
the tie is the least obvious.
Yeah, I have that written. It's it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
There's a lot of things wrong with this movie. We'll get to that. But
it's so damn good though.
Before we get to that, we got to go through the people who are in this movie because there's a lot of fucking people that are in this movie. So can
I tell you my second note that I have written down though?
Sure.
Man butt in the shower. In the first 30 seconds movie, there's multiple man asses in prison showers. Not really sure.
So I mean, that was in your notes, but is that a good thing for you or a bad thing for you?
I just don't know. Like, I don't know who that's appealing to. It's not like it wasn't enough to appease someone who's into that, and it wasn't. It was too much for someone who's not into that.
I think they just tried to make. I think they always try to add that in for prisons to show just how prisons suck.
I guess this is a lot of. Like I said, it was.
But also in sports movies, you usually have something like that. So technically, this is a sports movie.
I'm just saying, if there's going to be man ass in a movie, I want enough that someone else is enjoying it, or none at all.
Okay.
I don't need enough that I'm weirded out, and then no one else is having fun with it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so you want like in Bloodsport, when what's her name is checking out Jean-Claude Van Damme's ass, you want like at least someone's enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. I want there needs to be enough man ass that a lady or a gentleman who's into man butts is like, hey, those are some hot buns. I want them to get something out of it because I'm not getting anything out of it. Now I'm just seeing unnecessary man buns in prison.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
The man buns make no one happy. That's all I'm saying. As in real life, with the haircut, man buns make no one happy. Anyway, keep going. Get into the rich. It's a fucking Richard Tyson convention. There are Richard Tysons falling all over the place in this movie. Get to it, baby.
All right, so starring the movie, as we said, James Wood, Louis Gossett Jr., two amazing fucking actors.
LGJ.
We also got Bruce Dern, who plays an awesome fucking prick.
And everything.
Yeah. Also, we always bring back the Burbs in every episode. We always mention someone from the Burbs. There you go.
Strange. We've never done the Burbs, but yes.
We will one day.
Doesn't Bruce Dern look like Walton Goggins got old?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if they ever make the Bruce Dern story, there's Walton Goggins is getting if he doesn't get the first call.
If Walter Goggins gets work, I'm happy. I am fucking excited for him to get any kind of work. He's a great actor. He deserves much, much more.
He was good in what do you call it? Do you see the new Ant-Man and Wasp?
Yeah, he was great.
He was great in that. He's pretty funny. Continue.
We got one of my favorite person in this movie, Oliver fucking Platt.
Oliver Platt's great. Oliver Platt's great in everything. He's very, very. He's at his Oliver Plattiest. He has a. Don't you feel like he has a very specific niche he fills in movies perfectly?
Yes, and if you're gonna have Oliver Platt, you need drunk Oliver Platt at one point in the movie.
Yes, exactly. I don't love him in Ready to Rumble.
I
Like,
don't really remember that movie that much.
I always bring it up because it's two things. One, because at one point Scott Conn yells at Diamond Dallas Page, "Hey, a diamond upside down is a pussy," and I think that's funny. Two, I don't know if I said I only know 2 reasons, but there's multiples. Two, it's the reason David Arquette ended up winning the WCW World Championship in real life in the 90s. One of the greatest faux pas in wrestling history, or fudge, whatever the hell you want to call it. And 3, because Oliver Platt's in it playing essentially like a shitty, fully clothed, undersized Ric Flair named Jimmy the King, and his main line is "I will rule you," and that's stuck in my head forever.
No, I know that. I don't
remember.
I don't really remember it. That's
He's supremely miscast in that particular movie. This is the Oliver Platt I want. I don't like overly menschy Oliver Platt. I don't like trying to make him a tough guy Oliver Platt. I don't love whatever Oliver Platt was an executive decision.
Really?
This is the Oliver Platt I really want.
Like, I love this Oliver Platt, A Time to Kill Oliver Platt, because he was, it's a very serious movie, and he's, a little comic relief. Three Musketeers I fucking love. It's a horrible movie, but I fucking love it.
Is that the one where the guy does the sword trick and he goes, ugh, with his hand? And
exactly. He just goes, whoa, and just...
yeah.
Yeah, with Kiefer Sutherland,
Platt.
Charlie Sheen.
Now you're naming people from Three Musketeers.
All right, to continue with the actors or the thespians in this film, we got Heather Graham, as we said.
Yes.
Randall Tex Cobb.
Ooh, I up until a few years ago, I thought he was dead for like a decade.
So did I.
I remember. Don't you? I feel like we're having like a Mandela effect moment here. I always thought he was dead.
I honestly just checked it now to make sure he didn't die since the last time I checked it, which was yesterday.
Yeah, I always think he's dead. He's apparently doing great.
Yeah.
He graduated college at like 66 or some shit like that. He went back, was like, look at me.
Last thing he did was Walker, Texas Ranger.
He seems like a good guy to be around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Can we do Raising Arizona someday?
Of course.
My wife and I strongly disagree about that movie, but I love that movie.
What does she have to disagree with? It's Nicolas Cage when he was ugly. She
thinks it's weird. It's a Coen Brothers movie. It's supposed to be
weird. Fucking weird. No. It is weird. Because it took me forever to understand that movie.
Well, we have to do it because I have a lot to say about that movie. But all I will say right now is this: boy, you got a panty on your head. Continue with the Tysons.
Okay,
keep them rolling.
We got Randall Tex Cobb. We got Dwayne Davis, who, as you may remember from the football player from Necessary Roughness,
don't throw the stone hands.
Exactly. And Beetlejuice.
Beetlegeist.
There's been a bunch of other stuff. Little Big League, the program. We got Marshall Bell.
I believe he was also on Knight Rider 2000 or Team Knight Rider, whatever that was.
Team Knight Rider, maybe.
Yeah. When they tried to bring back Knight Rider with multiple Knight Riders, is Night Ride Eyes. Yeah, Marshall Bell's in there. Fucking Marshall Belling it up. No Quado, though, unfortunately.
Well, he didn't lift his shirt, so don't say there's no Quado.
So you like to think there's a Quado in there? Whatever
he does, there's a Quado controlling him.
So you maybe you think Quado's really the guy behind the guy on the whole prison? He's making the backdoor deals with Guillaume and stuff?
Absolutely.
He's all like, let's throw the fight. I'll give you the tall Mexican guy. Like,
Kane.
I can't do that voice without throwing up a little bit. Sorry.
All right.
Oh, man.
So then we also got Jesus, Jim Caviezel.
Yes. Jimmy Jams. Yep.
We got William von Humberg.
Ah, yes.
Who plays Charles Macon Diggs. Who
Vigo.
There's 2 people in this movie that I have to talk about once I get through the next few people. And he's one of them.
Is the other one the guy? Is the other one the guy with the ponytail and the shorts?
Jeremy Roberts? No.
Is that who that is?
The guy who played Sonny?
I don't know, the biggest one.
Oh, no.
Because that guy, well, I got more to say about that guy, but that guy, okay, so William von Humbugs is, he's Vigo the Carpathian, right?
Yes.
And he's the dude in Die Hard who's like, 9, screaming in German, doesn't speak any English, and is all pissed off right before the other guy goes, they're using artillery on us. That guy, those guys.
Yeah.
Right? It looks like the other guy, the big dude, the biggest one, it looks like he's cosplaying as Humbug in Die Hard.
Yes.
Yes. Continue now, please.
And the only other person I want to mention is Michael DiLorenzo from New York Undercover.
Oh, and I got more for you, Daddy. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Benny, hold on. No. What's that? What was the ref? The ref, right?
Don't you fucking leave him out. I'll let you. Don't you fucking leave him out, Ronnie.
I'll let you do it. I can't even pronounce his fucking name, so.
Benny the Jet motherfucking Urquidez?
Yeah.
Former fucking multiple-time world kickboxing champion, trainer of John Cusack, guy who John Cusack stabs with a pen in the throat in Grosse Point Blank.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, he plays the ref. He's fucking awesome.
So
also the dude who plays, I'm pretty sure the dude who plays grown-up Smalls in Sandlot is the guy with the weird jellies hat.
Rudy? What was his name? Rudy? Booster? Buffy?
Buster?
Buster.
Yeah.
Samsonite.
Samsonite, the guy who's wearing a hat that's made completely out of jellies. Remember those sandals?
Yeah.
His hat is made of jellies, and it fucking, hold on, I wrote it down. It says, son of a bitch.
John Short.
Is that his name? Am I right? Is
Corny
that same
Buster
guy?
Robbins.
He plays both.
I don't know. No, not same guy.
He's not the same guy?
No.
Oh, son of a bitch. I've always thought same guy.
He was on Coach, an episode of Coach.
It does either way. His hat, you know what it says on the hat?
No.
Let's make it smooth.
Okay.
I don't know if that was some sort of Coors Light thing or something in the late 80s, or I don't know what it was, but that fucking hat fascinates. He's in a town. Clearly it's a town of men who have never met a gay man or a black person. We could agree on that. These are like, everyone in that town's a racist hate monger pretty much.
Oh, they're fucking horrible. That's one on my notes, how Bruce Dern treats the two boxers. What are they, brothers?
Oh my God!
Dwayne
yeah,
Davis. He treats them like
shit.
they're fucking like simpletons.
Yes, that is. Yes, that's
Piss
one of the reasons.
me off the way he's talking to them.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this movie, and you want to do this movie, I think, is because it's kind of like, and look, we're not ones to comment on social issues, nor is it even. It's barely our place to comment on social issues. It's not our social issue per se, but. What's cool about this movie is essentially it's a black man triumphing over a shitty fucking racist white dude at the end.
Yeah.
By kicking ass.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that makes me happy because he's a fucking piece of shit. Holy, like this whole town, other than maybe Robert Guillaume is an okay kid, and Wolf Forrester, the man who went to prison, was a nice guy. Everyone else, like they're throwing rocks at gay weddings. They're like protesting black kids going to college in the 80s. Like they're like bad people, like not okay folks. So I'm glad. I want the whole town to fall. I'm hoping after this movie, when they win, that James Woods institutes some sort of social reconditioning on these people, because holy shit, they're terrible. Who the fuck stands around a dead body yelling things at it?
Yeah.
I've been around a shocking amount of dead bodies for someone my age. I'll tell you, no one stands around and goes, "Is that Wolf? What happened?" That loud. Maybe you whisper. You don't yell things at a dead body. It's a dead body.
We'll get back to the Wolf. We'll get back.
And why is that? Why are that many people hanging out at the train station?
Right. We got one more person we got to talk about. Well, just mention Frank Collision, the last of the Titans, the guy from Brother, Where Art Thou?
Which guy?
The prison guard.
Oh, the guy with the messed up face?
Yeah, Frank Collision.
Yes. Sorry, that's what it's written as, the guy with the bad teeth in my notes. Who's he playing Brother Where Art Thou though? Is he one of the guards in that too?
Give me Walsh Hogwallop. I don't know.
I think is he the cousin or something?
He might be.
I think he's the cousin. He's in that movie though. Either way.
All right, yeah. So when I was watching this movie, there's two people that I looked at. The one guy, Paolo, the guy with the ponytail sidekick, played by Michael DiLorenzo.
Yes.
And in my notes, I wrote, that looks like a cheap version from the guy from New York Undercover, not realizing it was the guy from New York Undercover from Michael D. Lorenzo.
Oh, yeah.
The entire time I see him, I'm like, man, he just looks like a cheap version of them.
He's always, something about him's never sat well with me. I don't know.
Actor or the person in
everything he's in, I'm always like off put by. I find him off putting.
Well, in this movie, it's almost like he's trying to play Benicio del Toro from License to Kill.
I see what you're saying. I look at it like I never watched New York Undercover, but I feel like
I never liked the show. I watched a few episodes. I just couldn't get into it.
I feel like Malik Yoba was like the smooth one, like Wesley Snipes in Money Train, and the other guy was like Woody Harrelson in Money Train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should do that movie someday. It's not that good, but I've seen it 7,000 times.
Yeah.
The train is coming, baby. Because the train is coming, baby. Oh, Lord.
And then the other actor.
That movie features real life supervillain Robert, whatever his name is. Robert, son of a bitch. What's his name? Beretta.
Yeah.
Him, Beretta. Actual bad guy. Actual unfortunate guy who killed somebody. It's a real not good person. Anyway, continue.
And then the other actor, William von Humberg. I'm looking at Charles Macon Diggs while watching this and going, man, that looks like Vigo the Carpathian. Not realizing
Von Humberg.
It was Vigo the Carpathian. All right. So we've gone through the list of Tysons.
So many Tysons.
So now we could get in the meat of this movie.
Yes, there's actually, I think it's two separate movies smashed into one.
I think it has, this movie should be 6 hours long. It's a very fast movie. It's like an hour and a half, and it moves really quick.
Yeah, that's very true. I can't agree enough that this would have, not that anyone's ever remaking Diggstown, but it would make a great like 3-part movie, like a one season Netflix.
And I can
like
break them down for you if you'd like.
Oh, but please do, Ron. Please do.
So the first part of the movie is, and these are in my notes of what the movie needed. The backstory from James Woods' character with this mob. So you see he has this connections with what was it? Victor Corsini.
Victor Corsini, yeah.
So he has this connection with him. He goes to see him, he gets the money, and they're talking about things that happened, and obviously they have this connection with each other. The one character Michael De Lorenzo plays, Paolo, like they hate each other. There's a story there. What's that story?
He wants to murder the shit out of him.
And it almost seems like he's trying to screw them over also, but he's not. He doesn't screw them over. He just obviously pays them back with Bruce Dern's money. But yeah. I feel like that's the first part of this story. Right there, up until he prison. Then once he gets out of prison, how did he meet Wolf, and why is he helping Wolf? Wolf told him his story. So there's a backstory with Wolf now, because they show how close they are in prison. He tells him all this, go find my dogs. And then when he gets out of prison, he goes sees his sister. That's also another story that's missing from here. So he gets out of prison 2 weeks later or a week later, and they find him dead. They don't even touch upon that. Like that is just like, oh yeah, Wolf's dead. They killed Wolf. Yeah,
I noticed they very quickly drop that subplot. Like obviously it fuels Heather Graham helping, and it fuels them wanting to really gut Guillaume.
Yeah.
But no one mentions at the end of the movie that Guillaume's going to prison for clearly authorizing the murder of a fucking convict.
But is he? Because at the end, the cops don't go to arrest him. The cops just don't want to be next to him.
True.
Like, no one's arresting. He does not pay for his crimes. As far as I'm concerned, he really got off. I mean, the guy punches him in the face. You just murdered his brother.
You deserve to lose.
So that's part of it. The other thing is Heather Graham's role. Heather Graham should have had a much bigger role in this. It's almost like they had a role and they cut it, because she should have been a love interest. They
definitely set her up to be the love interest.
They spark like he's going to help her. He killed my brother. I'm going to help you out. And then all of a sudden, she steals all this info from the bank. Bruce Dern should have kidnapped her. They set up this movie where Bruce Dern should have kidnapped her and used her to get Roy to take a dive.
Oh, look at that.
They should.
I would have hated that.
No, like that, it would have been the perfect. They set it up that way. They set it up for either that to happen or to have Bruce Dern try to kill her.
I like that.
And at the
As you're speaking, I'm using a metal back scratcher. Not a good idea, folks. So continue.
On bearskin, no. If you have a shirt, could work. So are you
It hurts like a
shirtless or are you
bastard.
going
Continue,
under the
yeah.
shirt?
I'm going under the shirt. It's too
Okay,
much.
Yeah, go over the shirt.
I'll work on it. Continue.
And then what I said before, Bruce Dern should be paying for his crimes. He kills 2 men and nothing happens. He gets punched in the face. Yeah, he loses everything, but in reality, it doesn't seem like he's going to jail because the sheriff is running away from him. The sheriff fucking helped them.
His whole town's corrupt. Yeah, they leave. Yeah, there's got to be a huge aftermath to this movie that you hope happened where, like I said, everyone goes to prison. The entire town undergoes social reconditioning to be more accepting and not horrible pieces of shit who drop N-bombs on each other in public and do all sorts of horrible things and try to beat up people who they lost fair and square to in bets. Yeah. You're not really, it's like you said, I can't agree more. And they don't spend enough time. Are there more parts to your movie or?
No, like it starts off with his backstory with the mob. Secondly, him in prison with Wolf. Add that in. That's like the starting point for this movie. Add that in. I think that plays a huge part in this movie. And then give me the backstory of Honey Roy Palmer. You're thrown into this. Show me what happens in Moline. Was it Moline?
Yeah.
Yeah, show me what happens there. There's something else to it. Building his character, I think, would also be key.
Well, yeah, I think he deserved more. I mean, he's in a, most of the movie. I think like I said, I think he's the real star.
He's the one fucking going to war.
Well, I think they don't spend enough time on the fights.
Yeah.
Like if you did this as a series, I feel like the last 2 episodes would be night 1 and night 2.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was weird. They hang that kid, that poor kid dies.
You would think that there'd be some
brother.
kind, they would also stop, nothing would be going on. There'd be investigations or at least, hey, interviews. No, fights keep going on.
Well, he owns the town. I mean, so that's the thing is that happens at the end of night 1, right? And then you see James Woods get attacked, get Corsini's guys string him up for no reason. He's winning the fucking bet at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that they think
that's where I'm
he's up
saying
to
there's a
something.
backstory with those two.
Yeah. And then it just jumps to night 2, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there's not really anything that happens.
They jump to the next day, and I think the next day, during the day, not much happens during the day.
No, like, you don't see fucking Honey Roy for that entire day.
Yeah.
Like, why is his wife not showing up at some point? She seems like a strong woman, she seems like a good character. Why does she not pop up to see what's going on?
Well,
and have her
I
in the
think
crowd at the end,
he doesn't want to tell her what he's doing.
I guess. I mean, he just became a millionaire probably. So
it wasn't a millionaire. They didn't make that much money.
They made 1.5. They made 1.5 million or whatever. They made
that money went straight back to the mob.
How much did he owe the mob?
$1.5 million.
No, he doesn't owe. No, see, he only borrows a certain amount from. He only borrows a little bit from. They're backing him up. They're escrowing the money.
They're backing him, but that means that he's borrowing the money and he has to pay the money back. So his winnings go back to the mob. That's what happens.
No, it's a standard. They're staking him, and a standard stake deal. If you're a card player, you should know this better than me. They get a percentage of his winnings. They don't get all of it. They're putting the money up for him to gamble with, and then they get a chunk of it back. If he loses, they murder him. So he and Victor Corsini now. I'm assuming he gives Corsini the money and he keeps the town. But Louis Gossett Jr. owns a town now. What are you just gonna go home and be like, "Hey babe, we're moving. I own a town now." Like, pack your bags. Pack your bags.
No longer Diggstown. It's called Honeytown.
Oh, Honeytown's a way better movie. Honeytown's also a completely different movie, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink. Anyway,
That's where Heather Graham got her start in Book of Nights.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so much good going on in this movie. I don't want to crap on it too much, but I will say this, like I said, it definitely feels so much like two different movies. One where Gabriel Kane is, running this con, and one where Louis Gossett Jr. is trying to overcome, his past of losing to Hammerhead and then and losing in Moline and trying to like kind of regain his honor as a man because he had such a, his career ended on such a poor note. And it's weird, like the last scene in the movie, like the last fight, right? Well, because I'm not counting the Minoso Torres fight. When he fights Hammerhead Hagen, he's losing.
Yeah.
When James Woods throws James Woods loses faith in him. Like the whole thing is he's like, don't lose faith in me. And he throws the towel in anyway. So it's almost like James Woods is the like pseudo supportive antagonist in Louis Gossett Jr.'s completely separate movie. Like if you only made this movie from Honey Roy Palmer's perspective, James Woods isn't that good of a dude. He gets sucked into the situation. He's trying to help his friend out, and his friend, obviously because he cares about him still, but he throws the towel in. He loses faith in him.
Yeah,
they don't have the.
He was willing to. Remember, if he doesn't win that, the mob is going to kill him. He was willing to save his friend. He was willing to deal with the mob.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
He
but I still do
honestly
think there's
cares
something
about him. Like he wants, like he says at the end, I always take care of my friends. He does not, like he wants everyone to make it out with money, but he's not willing to sacrifice his friend's life to get money.
I'll give you that. Maybe it's a bit more of a growth moment for Gabriel Kane, but
because of you don't have the backstory with Louis Gossett Jr. with Honey Roy Palmer, you don't really feel this. You don't feel the fight with Hammerhead Hagen because they don't even show a flashback. All they do is mention it.
Yeah,
you don't get kind of like how we talk necessary roughness. There's no build up to that last match, that last game. There's no build up to that. There's just, oh, he just found a ringer. Yeah, they made a mention that Heather Graham hasn't seen a tenant and, she's renting out to someone, but they mentioned that briefly, like 3 seconds. It should have been like, hey, right. I haven't seen this guy. Oh, there's someone moved in.
Yeah, they kind of, like you said, they leave too much out, and it's still a freaking
it's a great
dope little movie.
It just makes you want more. It doesn't satisfy the thirst that they make you have. They get you thirsty for this movie, and then you're left with just an empty glass. Yeah,
that's very true. Yeah, exactly. Like it should have been a longer movie or just more fleshed out, but it's wonderful, and I think the best person in this movie, the reason we chose this movie this month, is I think Louis Gossett Jr. Like James Woods isn't. I don't love James Woods. I like him, but I think Louis Gossett Jr. drags this movie from being like to fucking being something I love.
Oh no, he during his running he keeps going over to, like he wants to get redemption for Charles Macon Diggs because he keeps running past his house. He sees him. He goes up to him and tries to meet him. Like as boxer to boxer, he cares for him, and he hates the fact that John Guillen did that to him. So he wants to get
I think
redemption for him. He wants to set things straight.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but I think he owns this whole fucking movie. Yeah.
As you said, Chappy spanks Jesus.
Yeah, Chappy spanks Jesus. I think he holds this movie together. He has all the best lines.
Yeah.
The only line he doesn't get, and even he gets, it's funny because the way he reacts to it is James Woods going, he's this, and this, but you're black.
Well, there's
he's like, I'm trying to inspire you.
I have that written down somewhere. Yeah, so he says, and remember one thing, you are black. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, it's a roots thing. Just trying to.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful
get you motivated.
I think all their banter is awesome. Yeah, and then he has at the end when he says the whole thing, what you did couldn't be done, and he's like, now you motivate me. Like that's a great last line in the movie.
There is a line that was in either a deleted scene or it was in the trailer where he's fighting Hammerhead Hagen, and they're in the corner, and Louis Gossett Jr. says to James Woods, "He seems awful mad. Did you tell him he was black?"
It's awesome. They should have left that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they, like I said, they have great banter, and like this is Academy Award fucking winner Louis Gossett Jr. showing up for this movie. Like you only get one LGJ. Like you don't get any. You don't
he
get
doesn't phone in.
Yeah, he doesn't phone anything in. He's not Michael Caine and stuff. He shows up and he's like, "I'm here to work. Let's fucking rock this. I'm talented. I don't care what y'all do," and he just dominates. He's fucking great in this movie. I wrote this down. I've been around a lot of martial arts. When he drops his robe the first time, he's like the perfect mix of in shape but old.
Yeah.
Like his build is exactly what you expect from a guy who still like he clearly still exercises, but he's not like working out too hard.
He's
but
running a mile in like a 7.5 minute.
Yeah, he's got a nice little mile going, but he's not some big jacked up dude. He's like an old dude who still exercises and still looks like he's got it a little bit. And he does, and I've run into those guys like in boxing gyms and stuff. There's just sometimes these old dudes who are, not probably at this point he's late 40s, who you look at him, you're like, he looks like he must have been something back in the day, and then he asks you to spar with him and he lights you the fuck up. Like that's that hand speed and that power is the last thing to go, and that's true. And he looks like the kind of dude who still got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
like
he's
the only
people out
person
with one shot.
Yeah, he's the only person in this movie who looks like he's ever taken a boxing lesson.
Yeah.
Everyone else is, and Minoso Torres looks like he throws some nice body shots. Everyone else, and well, they don't really show Wolf box because Wolf was a real boxer. Tex Cobb was a legit, professional boxer and martial artist. Every one of the other 9 boxers that he faces, clearly, like they didn't Black Hawk Down. They went to like military camp.
Yeah.
Like boot camp. Clearly, these guys did not take lessons. They're not very talented. So he looks great. He looks the part. He moves well. He looks like an old school boxer. It's fucking awesome. He's dominant in this movie. But back to a lot of little things in this movie. For one, when they walk into the bar, the only time I've ever heard as diegetic sound the song "Oh Play Me That Mountain Music" is in this movie. And I remember that because there was a commercial when we were little kids that was on at 4 a.m. all the time. We were watching High Tide. That was, the things where they'd be like, the ones
Sound
that
of
were
the
like for
70s
like music
and
collections.
stuff?
Yeah, like exact. So Little Willie, but not that one.
Little
The
Willie,
one where
Willie won't go home.
Go
'cause you
home.
can't push Willie round. Willie won't go.
Right.
Right.
Try telling everybody, but who won't know. Anyway, but there was another one for country music,
Yeah.
and it was the one where it'd go, "Hello, God," and then this song, "Oh, play me that mountain music, hey, hey." And I used to, every time it would come out, I'd start clapping no matter when it was, even though I
Yeah.
liked that song. And my dad would yell at me from the other room to quiet the fuck down and turn the TV off.
I was with
So-
you with many of those claps. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I got excited when I think it's the Statler brothers sing that. I'm going to guess. I think they sing anything that's country music from before 1994. Also, I'm pretty sure it's the same bar from My Cousin Vinny, or at least the exterior. It looks almost exactly the same.
Could have been the same town. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And then everyone in this place must have the highest boxers per capita of any place in the world.
Well, it's the whole thing is boxing. That's the whole town. The town is named after a boxer.
Yeah, it's just insane that there's the whole town is fucking 3 blocks across, and every man in the town is a boxer.
Yep.
Every single one. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't really know what they're doing for a living, or maybe it's just like all their hobbies, and they get paid a little extra juice to do it on the weeknights. The town's very confusing, but furthermore, because we did so much, so I'm kind of running through.
Well,
the
the
bottom
bar
of my notes
scene
now.
is my favorite scene because it's all Oliver Platt. The best part about that is when they call him a hustler, and he just flat out says, "How am I a hustler? I told you I'm going to win."
I had that written down in my notes. I told you I was going to win. Yeah, like he flat out says it's the greatest hustle ever. I'm going to beat you. You shouldn't do this. And they keep trying to hustle him, and he fucking shits on everybody. So he doesn't actually hustle them at all.
No, he doesn't.
He just fakes being drunk, but that's his prerogative. Why does everyone in this town have 3 names?
Because
Like
it's
a bunch of
the
assassins.
South. Where is it
Charles-
it's supposed to take? Where is Diggstown supposed to be? What state?
I'm guessing Alabama. Like, or North. No, it's on one of the license plates, isn't it? It's like North. Is it? Fuck, is it Alabama?
I don't know. It looks like it was Georgia.
Georgia. Gotcha. That makes sense. It seems like Georgia things.
Georgia-esque.
Georgia. That's where Designing Women took place, also starring Misach Taylor. So like this movie's like a tight little movie. Like it's just a tight little flick though. Even with all the flaws we found. Like I have written my notes. Chekhov's Minoso Torres. Like they dropped the whole. They really do. They set the final gag of the movie up from the first fucking scene.
Yeah.
Minoso Torres is there. You know something's up, and then you completely fucking forget that dude exists. Other than one line where he says Minoso Torres beat him up. You know, he actually doesn't even mention that. He doesn't mention that till the end. You don't see Minoso Torres at all, and then he pops back up at the end of the movie. You're like, oh shit, it's such a well set up little thing. And even if you once you rewatch and really realize what's going on, even the little shit like the fucking 500 versus the 300 SL, the BMW stuff.
Well, the whole
like, that's
movie
just,
is like set up with Easter eggs for itself.
Yeah, it's actually a good little rewatch because you pull up a lot of different shit. You know, just with the what's this the son of a bitch, the Quado guy,
Marshall Bell.
Yeah, Marshall Bell pops back up. Like all that, like everyone just keeps coming back. And the only thing the only thing I don't fully get is the Heather Graham thing. Like, was she supposed to be his love interest in real life? I think they dated for a little bit, which is weird because he's like old enough to be her dad, but James Woods is, famous, so that happens. It's just I think it sounds like I feel like we crapped on it a lot, but it's a great.
We did crap on it.
Movie,
I love it too. Like I said, I'm not saying that it was bad because of all the things I said they left out. It left me thirsty. It left me wanting to more. I want to know more about everybody. I want to know more about I want to know what happened with Wolf. I want to know what happened with his dogs. I want to know everything about. I want to go back and see Bruce Dern go to jail.
It's true. Exactly. I want more Bruce Dern retribution. I want a lot more Honey Roy.
Yeah.
Like that scene where he freaking comes storming into James Woods' hotel room and he's like, I'll see you in the morning. That's fucking hilarious. He's so fucking good in this movie. Louis Gossett Jr. owns this fucking flick,
Yeah.
What else? I did notice though, again, not to. It looks like it was shot like a TV movie. The guy who directed this directed Fletch and Bad News Bears and all these other freaking famous movies. So he's a legit director. But it looks like doesn't it look like a CBS movie from like 1985? Like when they open the locker and Buster or whatever his name is falls out.
Yes, it does. It does have
like that shot.
That feel.
I didn't really get that.
Michael Ritchie. That was who the director was.
Yeah. He was there was a quote about him after he died. I read it before. Someone in I guess Hollywood Reporter said he was one of the most inconsistent, uneven directors ever. Like everything he made was good, but everything was just so proving that like it's just so up and down. Like he can make these good flicks, but they're just weird inconsistencies in them, in the quality.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I said, not too much. There's not too much else I have about this movie other than my question is, are there judges?
I don't think so.
What
I think
happens?
It's just the ref.
What happens? So he's making this like a jiu-jitsu tournament. Like if they go 5 rounds, Benny the Jet decides. I guess because I feel like he would have bought off all the judges otherwise.
Well, if that was the case, I mean, Honey Roy would have been disqualified just for fucking James Woods fixing the fight at the end.
True.
I mean, there's he flat out, with the finger down, and he takes a dive, and he doesn't just take like a small, like it's pretty, like he's kneeling, smiling at the end.
Yeah, true. He's just sitting there chewing his gum, hanging out. Minoso Torres thing. So yeah, it's very confusing. And why does no one have gear? Like half the boxers are boxing in jorts.
Because they're all broke and Bruce Dern is the only one with money.
Oh, I didn't think of that. They look like they smell terrible.
Yeah.
Like everyone in
Bruce
that town looks like
Dern
they smell like
doesn't
cold
like-
cuts.
He doesn't pay anyone. He treats them all like shit. As proof of it is that first match that James Wood is watching with Billy? Was that the boxer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like they just treats them all like shit. That's why
Bruce
they're willing to turn on him for money.
True. Bruce Dern's a real hard on.
Dwayne Davis and his brother are looking for money because Bruce Dern ain't paying them.
They live in a legitimate shack.
Yeah.
That is a sad existence. But that little brother is very, they could have a little too heavy-handed with the simpleness of the guy. It's, like I said, it borders on kind of being racist, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they downplay their two characters horribly.
Yeah, they didn't do a great job with them. But like I said, Louis Gossett Jr. owns this fucking movie. I dig it. I dig on Diggstown. I just love this movie. It's one I can't even explain why I love it. I just love this fucking movie. And everyone I've ever told to watch the movie comes back and goes like, yeah, that was a solid movie. I enjoyed that. No one's ever once come back and it sucked. Everyone always enjoys it. It's a good flick.
Yeah, I mean, it should have done a lot better than it did. It got a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 70% with the audience. I mean, it really should have been better than it was.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger than the sum of its parts, or better than the sum of its parts. And I think that's why I wanted to. I think Louis Gossett Jr. drags this movie into being something I fucking love to watch.
Yeah,
because James Woods is, like I said, James Woods is okay. He's got some great moments with the. He's got some really great.
This is one of my favorite James Woods role. I think he's great in it.
I'll give you that. But I guess I'm not a huge James Woods guy. I think he's really good in all the interactions with Guillaume.
See, I like him as everyone always typecasts him as like the asshole, the villain, if you will, in these movies. I think he plays an awesome protagonist.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the show Shark that he was in. Thought he was great.
Like I came for the Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh, I did too. I'm just I won't knock James Woods for his role.
I stayed for some of the James
two of
Woods,
them,
but I came for the LGJ.
I think both of them together were great. Like you said, they have some. Louis Gossett Jr. has some great lines in it, and the banter that the two go through, you could tell that they've been friends for a while. You could tell that they care about each other.
Well, they do a solid job of establishing they have history together. It's just like I said, we needed a little more. Like it was a little too. It's a movie. I needed more show and less tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like I said, solid flick. It needs to be watched more. I actually really don't have a ton of history of this movie other than just loving it. I think I saw it for the first time as an adult all the way through. Like I probably saw the end of it on cable a bunch of times when I was like 16.
Yeah, well, it never gets played.
Yeah, it used to be on like WPIX and WR sometimes. It was that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Tuesday
right.
night.
This was usually like the midnight movie on WPIX.
Yeah.
I actually remember
Diggstown.
watching this and Harlem Nights a lot.
I've never seen Harlem Nights. I've heard wonderful things.
Oh, it's great. Great movie.
I've heard it's almost too good for us to do though. Like my Coming to America argument.
I don't know. I don't think any movie is too good for us to go, or too bad.
One of these days we'll do Coming to America, but I promise you, it's too damn good. What am I gonna say about it? It's just too fucking good. It's just too funny. There's nothing negative to say about it. There's nothing, and so I was just gonna sit there and make Eddie Murphy jokes because he's wonderful. It's a national treasure. Eddie Murphy's the only reason I enjoy fucking the song Roxanne ever, because he sings it in 48 hours and it's hilarious.
See,
Roxanne.
I can't stand 48 Hours.
I don't like that movie that much. I like him.
Cop movies.
I like him, and I don't like Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte's fucking annoying.
Yeah. You know, the only Nick Nolte movie I really like is with him and Martin Short.
Which one? I don't like Nick Nolte movies. I think I like Down on Beverly Hills when I was a little kid. I think he was in that, but I could be wrong. I could be also thinking of The Prince of Tides, which I never saw, but I just know he was in that.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I think I'm confusing the commercials for the two of them. Anyway, whatever. Diggstown. Yeah, so I feel like that kind of wraps up our episode about Diggstown. So I got to ask you the question: did you find him, Ron? In a sea of him, did you find him?
I have so many to choose from. My initial go-to is Oliver Platt, but I think Oliver Platt is too well known.
Yeah, he's too well known. He's a star in this movie.
And I am going to go with the man who is still alive, Randall Tex Cobb.
I cannot disagree with that. At all.
He is one of those people that I think everyone knows who he is. Everyone's seen him in movies. No one knows his name.
He is the most Richard Tyson of Richard Tysons in this
Yes.
movie. He is in a lot of stuff. No one knows who he is, but you always know when you see his face what he's there for, and he's great in this movie like he's great in everything else. And I guess my Pamela Reed is Louis Gossett Jr.'s wife, playing Louis Gossett Jr.'s wife.
I'm going Heather Graham.
It's whatever. She's fucking famous. It's just, I could do without.
She wasn't terribly famous during this movie. She was in tons of shit.
I find her very standoffish in this movie. But this was pre-Swingers and pre-Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. This is before she started dropping trow and rolls and getting miscast. And I'm not going to shut on Heather Graham. She's actually a very talented lady. I don't know why I'm
Very
I'm in
talented.
a bad mood today. Yeah, she's very talented. I don't know where I was going with that. We could edit that out later. But yeah, she's a very talented lady. She's just too famous for me to choose her. So I'm going to go Louis Gossett Jr.'s wife, actual Mrs. Gossett Jr. What was her name in real life?
Mrs. Gossett Jr.
Mrs. Gossett Jr.
Yeah. You have to add the junior to it. That's his
I
full
would.
name.
If I was his wife, I would definitely call myself that.
You wish you were his wife.
Oh man. Not even for sexual reasons. I would just like to spend more time with him. He seems like the best. Doesn't he seems like a real Richard Tyson type in real life.
Who?
Like I bet you Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Like I bet you invite him over for dinner. I bet you he's helping you cook. I bet you he helps you do the dishes.
He's bringing an amazing bottle of wine. He might bring 2 bottles of wine. He might bring a red and a white.
You think he's bringing 2?
I think he's bringing a red and a white.
Wow, he seems like the type. This seems like a classy gentleman.
I
feel like
he's also bringing an amazing dessert.
Do you?
Yeah. I think he's one of those people that when he comes to a party, if it's not a dinner party, if it's a regular party, he's bringing wine, he's bringing booze. If it's like a summer pool party, he's bringing beer. He's not coming empty-handed to your home.
So he brings the party.
Yeah. He might even go so far to be bringing like a really nice piece of like meat or like some good sausage to your barbecue.
Yeah, he's also definitely the guy who runs out and gets ice before you mention that you need ice.
I don't think that. Because
You don't think so?
if he's coming to your house, you better fucking have ice ready for him because he's bringing beer, he's bringing drinks.
I feel like he's the type of guy, man. You run out of ice and you go look for more, and all of a sudden someone's like, "You're like, where's LGJ?" And they're like, "Oh, he went to get ice for you." And you're like, "Oh, fucking LGJ, he's the best." Can we just start inviting these people to our house? I just want to hang out with Louis Gossett Jr. now.
I would love to.
I just like talking about Louis Gossett. We should just do an episode about Louis Gossett Jr.
If you ever listen, Louis Gossett Jr., and you want to come hang out with us, you can. You can come play golf at my golf course. It'll take 7 hours to play, but we'll go play. Craig doesn't know how, but he'll come.
Yeah. I will personal train you for free at least the first couple of times. You have a lot of money in the bank. You can afford to pay eventually, but I'll give you some free sessions. Yeah, I feel like I wanted to do this movie simply because I like talking about Louis Gossett Jr. and how fucking every time I see that guy on screen, I'm just in awe of how talented he is.
If we do another movie of his, though, we're gonna have to do Toy Soldiers at some point.
We do have to do Toy Soldiers at some point. Although I want to slap most of the people in that movie except for him for some reason.
Mostly Will Wheaton.
Ugh. I don't mind Will Wheaton in real life.
He takes an Uzi and thinks he's gonna shoot it and just shoots up in the air. Like, get your hand off the trigger.
Yeah, I like Will Wheaton in real life. Will Wheaton in stuff, like the characters Will Wheaton plays always annoy me. Ugh, fucking Wesley Crusher. Shut the fuck up, bro. I
love him in Big Bang Theory, though, playing himself.
I refuse to watch that show. Refuse.
All right. Well, Louis Gossett Jr.'s wife's name is Cindy James Gossett.
Yeah, she's our Pamela Reed for the week. We've picked a Pamela Reed. It is CJG. I think they're divorced since, but at the time, Louis Gossett Jr.'s wife. Previously married to Louis Gossett. She's in a bunch of stuff too. Look at her. She got a whole little 27 credits on the IMDb. She's So there you go. That's Diggstown, nerds.
That is Midnight Sting.
Find us on this Midnight Sting. Find us on Facebook and Twitter and Spotify. And are we on Spotify? And Skype and at the mall and at Walgreens and on Stitcher and on iTunes and on cartoons, on iPhones, on iChats. Find us everywhere because we're out there. We're floating out in the ether. We're the signal that's in the airwaves that someday the aliens will hear and they'll come here and be nice to us because we're so damn charming. So listen to our show. Get ahead of the curve. All right?
Oh, and one day Craig will actually pay attention to post or watching our show because there's little hashtags that Craig smells on every one. So, find those little Easter eggs.
Well played. Well played, you miserable piece of shit. Thanks a lot, folks.
Have a good one.